Hey, welcome to another episode of It Resolves. My name is Kevin.
My name is Will.
And we just got done cracking our fingers. It was great.
We did. I can do it. So this is like my one magic talent. I can crack my fingers just by squeezing my fists, and I feel so incredible.
Way to bring that back to magic. I like it. That was great.
Everything I do is magical.
Welcome to the Thursday kitchen table, not table, casual day where we just talk about some fun games that we had this week and some builds that we made. We've also got some spoilers to talk about, or we should say potential spoilers. They're not official.
No, but if Wizards didn't print these, I'd start a fire somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And we've also got some good news to come up in the near future, so we'll be talking about that very quickly.
Very soon.
Before that, we do encourage everybody who is listening to go check out our Patreon page. We've recently set one up with a few goals in mind.
Kevin set it up.
Well,
I was there.
We've got a few goals that we need your help to meet. That being said, if you're not able to donate or if you just don't have the means to, please don't feel obligated. We're going to continue making this show regardless. We enjoy it, and that's really what we're doing this for. Any help is appreciated, though, as this does take some of our time and a little bit of money to make.
Right.
And so if we can make a little bit back and hopefully cover our expenses at least, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So
what we make, we put into the podcast.
Exactly.
Is our plan. So it's not as if this is supposed to be income in any way. We just want to keep making cool content, and there are things that we want to do that will require money more than we have right now. So
we do appreciate any help. Any donation is accepted, and we do appreciate it. So go check it out there. But with that, we also have some exciting news.
Yeah, I'm stoked about this. I'm gonna talk about it. So a little while ago, Kevin and I were talking to a buddy.
Buddy of ours. Mostly your buddy.
Well, he is going to be everyone's buddy.
He's everybody's buddy.
He's a great guy. So we're talking to our friend. He says he likes the podcast, wants to be a part of it. We crack our heads together, and we think, Kevin, what do we need right now? And Kevin, you want us to answer that question?
The answer that we came up with was live streaming content.
Yes, we did it once, guys. We streamed once, but we can't get back to it. Our schedules are crazy. Writing the show takes a bunch of time. Making the show takes a bunch of time, so it's hard. But our guy, his name is Parks. You will see him soon, I hope.
Yes.
I don't want to be too preemptive, but I'm very excited about it.
We're in the process of getting everything set up for him now. It shouldn't take too long, and we're hoping to get him up within the next week or two.
Yes.
If it doesn't happen within then, don't worry. It will be coming.
Very soon.
We have been talking to him about that, so it will be happening very soon. And hopefully we'll have a little bit more content to produce there for YouTube and for Twitch. So if you want to enjoy our content there, you'll be able to. And give you guys a little bit of an incentive to go check out the YouTube. If you do happen to miss the live stream, you can watch it all there. We plan on posting everything that we make on YouTube. So it will be there for you guys to watch. And we're really excited. Hopefully we'll be able to get Parks maybe on a show or something like that and talk to him directly.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Do some fun stuff with him actually on the podcast episodes. We're hoping to do that in the future, so we'll see how that goes.
I actually met Parks at an FNM.
Did you really?
Magic. Yeah, he played Dusk Mental Seer deck.
Oh,
that was really, really fun.
Yeah.
He beat me all the time. So
he's a very good Magic player.
Yes, he's great at Magic. He's a really fun guy.
He is.
Go hang out with him. Check out the stream. You will not be disappointed. He's a great guy.
To that point, again, because of schedules, the stream schedule may change from week to week, but we will keep you guys updated on that. It will be posted in different areas, including on Twitch, and we'll probably announce it in the podcast as well.
Right.
So you'll know basically when to keep up with the stream and when everything will be. It may be a bit sporadic, but we'll figure it out. So just to give you a heads up, go check that out. Yeah. We're excited.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, with that
all that stuff out of the way, that was a lot of intro material, but we do have our card of the day today.
The show, man.
Yeah, news is good news.
Talk about the show.
I like it. So today we have our card of the day, our random card of the day, and let's see what we get in 3, 2, 1.
Devouring Light. Wow. Back to original Ravnica. Devouring Light is an instant for 1 colorless, 2 white. With Convoke, which says each creature you tap while playing the spell reduces its cost by 1. or by 1 mana of that creature's color. Now, Convoke they brought back.
Yeah.
I can't remember what set, but
M15 maybe?
is it? Yeah, that sounds right. It says remove target attacking or blocking creature from the game. Ooh,
I like this card. It's a limited all-star removal spell.
Absolutely.
It's super, super good. It is conditional in that it has to be attacking or blocking, which I think I've had the experience, I guess. I don't know if this is true across the board, but I've had the experience that is a very limiting factor in a limited environment. But that being said, it still is removal. It's very efficient removal, and it's instant speed.
Yes, and it's exile, not
it's exile,
simply
exactly.
destroy.
So it has a lot of upside.
Yeah, I will say it is restrictive to attacking or blocking, which, again, in limited, the format is outstanding. Constructed, it's a little worse. I think this is probably a card that's best suited for maybe a white weenie deck.
Yeah.
Where if you can put out tokens, like this is perfect. You just block with 1 token before damage, tap the token, use its Convoke.
Perfect.
And if you have 2 open mana, you can tap more creatures, obviously. But,
it's a very good removal spell.
Yeah, this seems awesome.
It deals with bombs quite well because the condition is that it's attacking or blocking, and usually in limited, that's what the bombs are doing.
Yeah.
Mostly attacking.
You wouldn't even have to block with the token. What am I saying?
No, you really don't have
just
to.
tap and go.
But you can block another creature with that token and then tap it and do something like that.
That's true.
So it has some uses. I actually really like this card. It's quite good.
I'm impressed. Yeah, I don't think it's clearly. I don't think it's constructed viable outside of like it might have been in standard, maybe, but I don't think it is probably ever played in modern or anything like that.
Probably not.
No, where paths and stuff exist. It's
exactly.
It's
just not efficient enough, but it is quite good in limited. So
although maybe I'd say that maybe in a token deck though, because that could just turn into a free path.
Maybe. I mean, I guess so.
I mean, Bant tokens is a thing.
Yeah, but doesn't the Convoke cost only take away the colorless mana cost? It doesn't take away the white, does it?
It does. It by 1 or by 1 mana of that creature's color.
My mistake. You are correct. It could be free. I do like that. Not bad.
That's really good.
Wow. That's pretty good. All right. Not a bad random card of the day. I like that one. But with the random card out of the way, today we have some EDH to talk about.
We do. You all know EDH by now. Something about Elder Dragons. What's the H stand for? I forget.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Well,
Highlander? Is that it?
Actually, maybe. Because it is based off Highlander. Another format
really don't remember.
That's 100 card singleton with no commander, which is also really fun.
So I'm going to preface this with saying that I've not played, not really played EDH or Commander, however you want to say it. I've not really played it before. This was sort of, I think you and I actually sat down one night and just made very quickly some decks and played a couple games.
And we did
other
it this
than
time
that,
too.
I've not really thought through a deck and tried to get something together that was actually viable until this point. Which I have to say, if you have not tried Commander, try Commander. It is amazing. You get some very cool interactions and you really get to just, it's like a deck builder's paradise, right?
It is, yeah, because everything is legal. Well, not everything, but every set is legal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean. So you get some old cards that are just ridiculous, or you get the new cards, which you can pull off some cool combos with. I really liked playing this. I enjoyed it quite a lot. So
yeah.
That being said, my commander was an Esper commander, which I actually ordered specifically for this, and I thought I'd give it a shot. I'm gonna mess up this name. I'm just gonna go ahead and preface.
I think if any time you get a free pass this time.
Yeah, okay, so Marieki Barrett.
Yep.
Something like that, I don't know. It's 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black for a 1/1 legendary creature human. It does not untap during your untap step, and you can tap it to gain control of target creature as long as this creature remains tapped. If it becomes untapped, destroy that creature and it cannot be regenerated.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
It's mean.
It's very, very good. So you get to steal a creature, either destroy it or just swing with it and do your damage with it. So it's really, really quite good. What was your commander? What did you decide?
I went with Karametra, the big Selesnya god from Theros. I really just wanted to focus on ramp. She says every time a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get to search your library for a plains or a forest. I've noticed that I've said library once, and it has bugged me ever since. So I'm gonna try very hard to say library.
We're gonna make a counter for this.
Oh, please don't. Library for a plains or a forest, and you can put that bad boy on the battlefield.
That was beautifully said.
Tapped, not untapped. Okay. Yeah, you stick it on the battlefield. It's ramp anytime you get guys out. So I got a lot of token generators. And then I use the wardens, the trio of wardens, to gain life every time creatures enter the battlefield.
So a very cool little ramp deck, I thought.
It could have been.
It could have
been.
How many games did we play? Like 5 or
4?
6?
We played 4 games.
I thought we played a little more than that.
No,
anyway,
we played 4 games.
We played a lot of games. And how'd they go, Will?
Kevin won every single one.
Yeah, it wasn't. So, okay, that being said, it was pretty close some of the time. There were a couple games. No, there were 2 games I can think of where you were clearly winning for an extended period of time.
Okay, yeah.
But I stabilized.
So, here's what happened. Yeah, you stabilized. You played Ugin. Duh.
I played Ugin 1 game. That's all I'm saying.
So, anyway. That being said, I had Karn in my deck, so, you know.
I also had Karn in my deck.
Oh, we're a family-friendly podcast here on It Resolves. Every time I want to say mean things, I'll say that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what I'm gonna say. That we are a family-friendly podcast. It resolves. So, okay. Yes, Kevin won every single game. So, essentially, Commander being a large group format, it is very hard when this is not meant to sound.
He's hedging.
I'm not hedging. I'm not.
It's totally fine.
I'm not like pointing fingers. But if a deck,
nobody's gonna blame you.
If a deck is controlling in Commander, because you live off the top of your deck, like if you're playing a deck like mine.
Yeah.
I have no way to gain card advantage other than getting mana out.
That's fair.
If you live off the top of your deck and they can just take your things or counter your things.
Yeah.
In 100 cards, you've got no like great way to get.
Yeah.
That being said, I didn't make my deck like that to get good stuff.
I mean. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say my deck was made, basically to bounce things and get repeated enter the battlefield triggers.
Oh, it's awesome! I'm proud of you, but I hate you.
I did run a few tutors. Obviously, being Esper, I get access to like the best tutors in the game. Yeah. I had Mystical, Enlightened, and Vampiric tutor, so I was able to sort of tutor things out that I needed. Actually, in the last game we played, tutored with Mystical Tutor to get Vampiric Tutor.
That was kind of weird.
To get a final card, which I'll talk about in a second.
Also
to like, it was Brago. To keep off his attackers, I had Ghostly Prison and Propaganda. So I think there was only one game where I got both of them out, but it basically kept you off of attacking because to develop your board you had to basically tap a crap ton of lands. So it didn't work too well.
If I ever found my lands, played my commander, that wouldn't have been a problem. But that was a problem.
Yeah, it was rough. But as I said earlier, I did play Brago. Obviously being one of the best flicker effects in the game, I think. It worked perfectly in this deck. It was able to bounce all of my stuff. There was one game in particular where I was able to get, I also run Entomber Exarch, and I was able to bounce Entomber Exarch every turn to pull cards from your hand. It also opens up the opportunity for creature recursion in the graveyard and things like that.
Yes, if you're wondering, I had a great time.
Yeah, it was awesome. But the idea was basically to flicker all these value creatures, things like Necrotal, Grey Merchant, things like that, Mirror Battlesphere. I also ran Kaya, Ghost Assassin, as a separate way to bounce something, and Angel that bounces.
Restoration Angel?
Restoration Angel. Could not think of the name. I also ran Resto Angel to add some bounce effects in there.
Yep.
I also, to double these effects, ran Panharmonicon, which is amazing. Super, super good card. It worked great with stuff like Walking Ballista, which I also played, along with a bunch of Artifact Ramp and things like that.
Yeah.
And the whole, that was sort of the main idea of the deck, was to bounce a bunch of things. But I also ran a card from Aether Revolt that I really liked, which was Gonti's Aether Heart. I never actually got to play this, but the goal was basically anytime an artifact enters the battlefield under my control, I get 2 energy, and I can pay like 8 energy to take an extra turn. And so the idea was swing with Brago, bounce everything, including my artifacts, have them enter the battlefield again, gain a bunch of energy, and then take another turn. And so I could just infinitely loop that. It never happened, but that was the goal. I also ran Ailey, Eternal Pilgrim, I believe is how I say that. And that was basically a sack outlet, so I could steal stuff with my commander, sack it to gain a little bit of card advantage, and then bounce everything and steal something else. Yep. So, again, that didn't happen either, but that's why that was in there.
Yeah, good stuff.
To help get to the combo, I ran things like Tinker also, which helped to get like Panharmonicon and everything. So it was really good.
It was good.
It was really fun for me.
It was
not
good.
For Will.
So I built a fair deck where you just ramp and put guys out. Because it was my understanding that we were just going to, have a fun little game.
I thought it was a fun little game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Anyway,
let it be known this is payback for the Leovold day where I lost every single game we played with Leovold.
I know you're going to say the same thing, but just build a better deck.
Okay, build a better deck.
My deck would have been fine if yours wasn't so mean.
Well, give me some info about your deck.
So, yes, my deck, again, very simple. It also worked with a lot of ETB effects. Also ran Panharmonicon. Effectively in Magic Candyland, which is really what Commander is.
Yeah.
You double the effect of the Commander, when tokens enter, when you gain life. And I mean, I did play the dirtiest card in Commander in Felidar Guardian, so I can't really complain that much. Literally, if there's any way to cheat out Felidar Guardian your first turn and then get to your upkeep,
yeah,
you win. So
yeah.
we'll throw that out there too. But yeah, just great ways to recur a bunch of tokens. I had a lot of Elspeths. I used a Johnny with the hopes that I would get to ult him, which is so cool. A Johnny's ult, if you don't know, is minus X, I believe, and it says you put X amount of 2/2 cat tokens for every for your life total. So with all this life gain, all that like token stuff, and then tokens out of the battlefield gain life, I just wanted so many cats. That's what I'm saying. But that didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
So there's not much to say about my deck. I lost so fast. So really, I can say things like, what did I do wrong? What could I have put in my deck more? If you don't hit your ramps and hit your land, and this is probably going to be pretty obvious to you, but if you don't get to that stuff, potentially you are drawing like 6, 7, 8 drops off the top of your deck, so you don't always get to play them. And definitely play your commander. Sometimes I could have played my commander and forgot to, but that's the engine of my deck, and I should have.
Yeah.
That being said, if there's ever a deck that you don't want to play your commander into, the one that steals it's probably that deck. Just to point that out.
Well, to be fair though, there were times where you could have played it and it would not have been an active creature.
No,
it would have been an enchantment.
And honestly, I never played it with the intention of it being an active creature.
Right.
My point was to use it just to ramp and play fatties.
Yeah.
Because if you play your fatties, you do well in Commander. I mean, you do. It's the place that bad fatties go to just retire. It's like Florida for giant creatures. Commander.
What a great comparison.
But yeah, honestly,
you're really good at these.
I'm
glad you were here for this.
Thank you. You play like junky stuff like that 10 Jin that's like a 7/10 that flickers and has this bank. I forgot the name, but you play all these weird things that never honestly worked.
Yeah, like
ever.
I will say your deck was really scary in the early turns. So my deck took a lot more setup, I would say, whereas yours just worked pretty quickly because you did ramp into things pretty easily.
Yeah, I did need more ramp. That is another takeaway. Yeah, more ramp would have been good. I should have added more mana dorks. I only had actually a card from Amonkhet, whose name I'm forgetting. The 3/4 that gets -1s that you tap and do things.
Channeler Initiate.
Thank you. That guy, the 2/1 from. Excuse me. Oh, I burped a little bit.
This is really disgusting.
Oh,
I never burp.
Oh, man.
That's a joke. I burp very loudly.
All the time. The 2/1 from... Help me out. He's maybe Shadows, perhaps.
Shadows, yeah.
I think it was.
That gives you green or black.
Yeah, and it
also
has
has
Delirium. So that guy. But those were really my only. Oh no, I had Birds too. But that was my only ramp. If I had more mana dorks, I think that would have done me much better. To just kind of fix my mana, just give me more sources. Because without that, my deck is kind of dead in the water.
Yeah. I remember specifically there was one game where you only ended up with like 3 or 4 lands, and you had so many great cards in hand that could not do anything.
If they're Verge was Gear Hulk.
Yeah.
Worm Coil.
You had Worm Coil?
Other big things. I think I did. I don't actually know if that made it in my deck or not.
I mean,
I might have because Lifelink is kind of what I want. I don't know. But yeah, so those are things I could have done better just to help me get to Kirametra, get to my big guys. Any way to gain cards would have been good. I had Harmonize. That might have been the only card draw avenue I had. Maybe a creature that let me draw cards when creatures enter the battlefield would have been a smart way to go.
You could have played stuff like Wall of Omens or something like that.
I could.
That would have been quite good.
Should have.
No, I agree. I think that was exactly what your deck was probably missing, was just some early game, in the sense that, like, your deck was great when it ramped, but if it did not ramp, it didn't get there, and that was the tough part.
Which I should have known. That's what I built it to do.
Yeah,
but
you know, it happens.
You know, say la vie. Sometimes your friend doesn't let you play Magic, and that's okay, because I didn't let him 2 weeks ago. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. I would say my takeaways from my deck is, first of all, it was my first experience really with a well thought out commander deck. I enjoyed it a lot. That's my biggest takeaway. As far as ways to improve the deck, more bounce effects maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was good, but it took some setup again, like I mentioned. Like, I had to get stuff like Ghostly Prison and Propaganda out just to last a few turns and then be able to sort of tutor things out. I did have a large number of tutors, which made that pretty easy.
Yeah.
And technically repeatable tutors, although that wasn't exactly what happened in the games. It was theoretically possible.
Sure.
My late game was only good if there wasn't like a sweeper. I would say that. And the reason I say that is because I didn't have any, like, I had a few bombs, things like Ugin, things like Karn, but I didn't have any like great creatures. I mean, not that like actually dealt a ton of damage. Thankfully, I could steal them, and that was sort of the thought there. Right. But I didn't necessarily have a lot of like one card win top ends, which I think in Commander sometimes you have to throw a couple of those in, and I just didn't have as many as I maybe would have liked.
Well, no, you don't always need to. In Commander, there are times when decks that can just kind of goldfish create a sphere of kind of safety, like with Propaganda and
Ghostly Prison.
Thanks. My mind went out fishing. Yeah, with cards like that, there are times when you can just stabilize. You don't need a giant bomb or anything. Nth Maze.
Maze of Ith.
No, Nth Maze. I know what I'm about, boy. Maze of Ith.
I will say Maze of Ith I have in my deck. We played our first game, and I almost lost just because I didn't play. Like, I didn't use my Maze of Ith. I had it out and just forgot. Yeah. It's very easy, I realize, to miss triggers in Commander because there's so much going on.
There's a lot of things.
But thankfully, I think I learned from my mistake in the later games. Yeah. But it didn't matter because I won.
They forgot their twiggles. But yeah, you don't always need a top end, especially if your deck like yours is meant to just kind of grind out an opponent and not let them play. And that's not me being salty. That's just what your deck does.
Yep, that's true.
When you can take their top end, like, why do you need one?
I also, in order to do that, not just with my commander, I also ran Ashiok, which was able to steal some creatures, generally in the first couple games, I believe, but it did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah, Ashiok's just great.
Ashiok's a great card. 3 mana Planeswalkers are amazing. With a +2. Yeah, with a +2.
Ah, she's awesome.
So that was probably one of my highlight cards, I would say, is especially in, I believe, game 2 or 3, where I just was able to start basically milling you and then get a bunch of good stuff. So, but overall, fun games for me. I liked it.
Good. I'll not play again with that deck. Not his, with mine, I mean.
Yeah, you need to rebuild. Ooh. We'll probably revisit this at some point and make some new decks. Make some new decks. Did not enjoy that.
No.
I just burped a little bit too.
No, that's great. That's great.
All right. So with that out of the way, we've also
It's stinky.
um, we've got some spoilers to talk about.
Oh, yeah, dude. I forgot. I'm thinking about all these things. That
this was a packed episode for us. So with the new announcements and everything like that, we had a lot to talk about. But
let's pull them up.
There are some new spoilers for the new Commander set. It's not official, so we can't say that these are definitely going to be in the Commander sets or anything like that. But we hope they are.
Yeah, absolutely. These look really fun.
These look really good. Like, kind of amazing. They're all dragons except one. And we'll go over them in just a second. We're actually pulling them up right now. And wait for it. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Ramos is my favorite.
Yeah, he's probably mine. Well, it's honestly hard for me to pick.
I think the Dragon is amazing also. Let's go through the cards really quick.
Right, let's talk about it so we have some context.
First of all, let's start with Ramos, the Dragon Engine. It is a 6-costed legendary artifact creature dragon. It's a 4/4 with flying. Whenever you cast a spell, you put a 1/1 counter on it, and for each of that spell's colors. You can also remove 5 1/1 counters from Ramos and add 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, 2 red, and 2 green mana to your mana pool.
Yeah.
Activate this ability only once each turn.
Yeah.
Door to Nothingness.
Yeah, that is the exact
That's the reason this
mana
exists.
for Door to Nothingness. And let it be known, since it's got those 5 colors on the card, this is a 5-color commander. It counts, so you can put freaking anything.
Yeah, I really think this is amazing. Like, you can just make somebody, like we were talking about this earlier, your frame for this was you can just delete a player.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
It's pretty fun. I mean, obviously you need to get out Door to Nothingness.
You do. There's some setup, but
however, that's great. And at Ramos's worst, it just is a giant flyer eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it builds on itself, right? With every spell you play, it's going to get bigger.
Dies on it does die to plenty of things.
Oh, yeah.
And Path is
but not to Bolt.
No, not to Bolt. Not one Bolt, anyway.
Which in Commander is all you have to worry about.
No, you can copy spells.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying. Singleton format.
I can copy spells. Fight me. Speaking of which, the next card here, Tygam.
Ojutai Master.
For, it's a 3/4, 2 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue. It says, instant sorcery and dragon spells you control can't be countered by spells or abilities. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, if the Ojutai Master attacked this turn, that spell gains rebound. So
that seems pretty great to me.
Yes, I was watching the Mana Source the other day with, I won't say our good buddy. He doesn't know us, but
we
with
don't
Wedge.
know him, yeah. But Wedge is
great.
awesome.
He's cool. And he said, okay, Commander Dragon Control.
Yep.
So it was like, wow, okay.
He's not wrong. Like, this just enables that to be a thing. And it's so good. Like, being able to make everything uncounterable, basically, is
pretty much
insane.
Yeah, most things from your deck will be uncounterable.
I mean, this is a build around card, obviously. You're going to build around this. But, of course. That's insane. I think it's really good.
He's the least exciting for me.
Really?
Only because that's not how I'd play Commander.
Okay.
It's still really cool. I like giving things rebound.
Yeah, I think that's quite good.
Especially for free. Like, all you have to do is attack with him, which does make him vulnerable, but still.
Yeah.
Still. So talk about the Dragon. You like it a lot.
Yeah, I like the Dragon quite a bit. It's a 10/10 for essentially it's 9 casting costs, but 4 and then 1 of each color.
Yep.
As long as the Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less. It also has flying, and whenever 1 or more dragons you control attacks, draw that many cards, then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
So this just seems insane. Like, first of all, it makes everything in your deck, if this is a build around card, I would say it's a dragon build around. It makes all of your dragons cheaper, which is amazing. Dragons notoriously are really strong, especially in Commander.
Yeah,
and to be able to play them a turn earlier than you normally would in a format where you already ramp pretty hard is insane.
That's pretty cool.
you'd be able to drop maybe 2 dragons where previously you'd be only able to drop 1 or something like that. Not to mention, this is just a 10/10.
I mean,
like,
yeah, it's a
with flying, so it's got the
strong
evasion
dude.
and the upside of drawing the cards based on how many dragons are attacking, and then just playing a thing. It doesn't even have to be a dragon at that point. You just get to play a card from your hand.
That's true. I mean, a 4-turn clock in Commander's scary enough, and then a 4-turn clock with show and tell every turn.
Yeah.
But it's not even show and tell.
It's omniscience.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, literally, you can play this, drop omniscience with its ability, and then just play anything you want. Like, because it's an all-color general, you have access to everything.
Now, I want to reread. You control, draw that many cards. Okay. I may have thought it said that many permanents as well.
Oh, good lord.
That would have been just stupid.
Oh my goodness, no. But if you do have omniscience in your deck, then it becomes that.
I mean, that's true.
So
even so,
that's a really cool card.
Yes, and I mean, at 5 colors, 5-color commanders are generally hard to play with, except the Liver Queen. But like, it's still going to be excellent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'll talk about I'm actually gonna jump over one. I want you to handle that because this is my other favorite.
Okay.
I can't say the name. Wasitora.
Okay. Works for me.
Nekoru Queen. Wasitora. Nekoru. I need to learn how to read if we're gonna make a podcast. She is a 5/4 for 5 in Jund. So green, 1 green, 1 red, 1 black, 2 colorless. She's a cat dragon,
which is awesome.
Flying and trample. Says whenever the queen, I'm gonna call her the queen, deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. If the player can't, you create a 3/3 black, red, and green cat dragon creature token with flying. That's just fun, man.
Can I just tell you my favorite part about this?
Yes.
The fact that you get a cat dragon.
Yeah, it ain't no
just
simple
like that.
dragon.
That's all I want is
man.
cat dragons.
Queen needs her army, dude.
I think that's amazing. I think this is a really good card. It's the more reasonably cast of the commanders, I would say, so you're able to get this out a bit earlier and gain some board advantage with that effect. I just think it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, sac effects are great. Sac effects, like...
They get around indestructible. They get around hexproof. They get around quite a bit.
So much good stuff.
The only thing they don't really get around, I guess, is Shroud. Because Shroud means both players can't target it. But other than that, it gets around quite a bit. So I would say the only thing this has to worry about is like Lightning Greaves, because that just avoids it a little bit because it gives something Shroud. But
although that does still create a 3/3 black, red, and green.
It does.
Dragon.
You're right. So you still do get something out of the deal.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. It's like a sac effect with upside if it's not.
Yeah.
If it's unsackable.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Very cool one. Okay, thanks for leaving me this one.
Why don't you like this one?
Oh, Kagachi, Vengeful Kami.
Oh, come on, that's simple. We've heard about him. He's the whole reason the Kami's... Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, so this has a lot of lore value for those of you who are back in the Kamigawa set, and I'm not going to get into the lore or anything like that, but he caused a lot of issues during that time.
Because he ain't no nerd.
He's not a nerd.
He don't care about the lore. I'm talking about you, baby.
This is... probably not my least favorite of these. I think the lore part of it makes it one of my more favorites, but it's just not that good. I don't think it's 1 and then 1 of each color for a 6/6 flying trample dragon. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if that player attacked you during his or her last turn, exile target permanent that player controls. I think that's fine, but you're sort of, when you're attacking with this, you're going to be basing who you attack based off of this effect. And that could lead to some troublesome things where either it's not a good attack, so you have to attack somebody else, and then you kind of just swing with the 6/6, which isn't bad, but it's not as great as it could be.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Since it's in 5 colors, you will get things in green and red that say target creature must attack you this turn if able. So
that's a good point.
You can control who attacks you when. Sometimes.
That's a good point. You can turn that into an advantage. I like that. And I can see that.
With white, you get access to indestructible, the enchantment. You can give it protection from a color or something to attack favorably, maybe to profit off of that more. Now that's a lot of setup just to exile a permanent.
And I think that's why I'm not quite so keen on this one. Again, it's not a bad card. I think it could be very good, and I think situationally it's amazing. Yeah. But you're not presented all the time with the best attack.
No, and that is a great point. Like That I'll say sounds like a very, very strong ability, but with all of the variables in the battle phase, in the combat step, is what it's called. This is not Yu-Gi-Oh. There are so many things that could go wrong. That does make me get a little bit queasy.
I honestly, when I first saw this one, the artwork is probably my favorite.
The artwork is dope. It is dope.
And I actually thought this would be my favorite initially, but then I sort of gave it some thought, and I actually watched a video by, I believe, Wedge, also at the Mana Source as well, where they did sort of an overview of these spoilers.
We watched the same one then.
We did.
Buddy old pal.
Happens a lot, and we probably don't realize it. But and he pointed that out in that video, and I thought that was a really good point that I didn't initially think of, so I don't want to take credit for it. But it is a very you're dependent on your opponents a little too much, so it's not quite as good in my mind.
That's fair. Although I'll say maybe in a controlling style deck that might not be so bad.
Maybe not.
That you're trying to dissuade some attackers. That might be cool.
Sure.
I don't know. So yeah, favorite probably for me would have to be the Ur Dragon is great, but I just don't want to play that dirty. That being said, the Door to Nothingness combo from Ramos.
I think that's
pretty sweet.
I think as a combo, that's what I'm most excited about is the Ramos Door to Nothingness.
That's fun.
But just as a single card, I really like the Ur Dragon. I just think it's so freaking insane.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it is the Ur Dragon.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Come on.
So, you want to talk about that?
Sure, why not? I mean, we were looking down at the F&M promos for July, September.
Yep.
And
they're
ahead. Beautiful. They're beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, they are really nice looking.
Yeah, so the promos, maybe. Fatal Push, Renegade Rallier, Reverse Engineer. Sweet. They're pretty. Check them out. There's not much to say because the cards,
I mean, everybody knows these, but
check out
I would
the art,
definitely go check it out. The art's pretty cool.
That Fatal Push is delicious.
I love the colors. The purple with the yellow is pretty awesome. But yeah.
How aesthetically pleasing.
With that out of the way, we come to our final segment.
Oh, buddy.
Again, looking for our goal cards.
Oh, buddy.
What are you looking for, Will?
I am looking for Combat Celebrant.
Oh.
It's going to add battle steps, combat phases, big. It's going to add a fight club to my fight club.
Oh.
So I want to.
All the reference.
I want them.
Okay. A very good one. Probably better than mine. Gideon of the Trials. I think it's a cool Planeswalker. That's about all I've got to say.
That's fine.
It's not great.
Neat.
But we'll see what happens.
What's it die to, Kevin? What's it die?
Bolt.
All right.
I will go first, and no.
Well, what do we have here?
I got Pyramid of the Pantheon. It's a 1-costed artifact. Tap 2 and tap the Pyramid. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool and put a brick counter on the Pantheon. Then add 3 mana if you tap this of any 1 color to your mana pool. Activate this ability only if there are 3 or more brick counters on Pyramid. This card is bad.
Well, yeah, it's not great.
I don't like it at all.
So
we took this in limited. Did
we really?
1 week that we streamed.
Yeah, we did.
We actually took this and tried it in a game.
Oops.
It was quite bad.
Well, I will say we took it in a pack that was not for us.
There was nothing. Yeah,
it was
but we played it,
11th
and that's
pick,
the
maybe?
bad part.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it Commander.
Commander, maybe,
because this combo is perfectly with Soul Ring. Right?
Sure.
You know, 2 and a tap, you just tap your Soul Ring and tap it.
The thing is,
and it's way more ramp.
It's just a Gilded Lotus that takes so much setup.
Well, yes, but
like Gilded Lotus, you just play and then you have a Gilded Lotus. This you play granted you play it earlier, but then you have to spend mana to set it up. Which just is bad.
Until, well,
yeah, but you have to take at least like 2 or 3 turns.
Total investment is 7 mana. So
yeah,
that's not great.
That's not good. It's very bad.
But then think of all the upside with all that other mana. Well, no, not really. It's honestly 4 mana because every time you add a brick counter, you add 1 mana of any color. Still not good.
Still bad.
I'm not gonna give it that. You're down a mana a turn to put a brick counter on it. But
exactly.
in Commander, if you're playing with more than 1 person who doesn't just blow you up, this could be.
It's almost like that happened to you.
It
might have.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Nah, it's not my favorite card though.
No, it's not great.
Pretty bad.
I don't think it's that. Whatever. Okay.
It's pretty bad. I'm not saying terrible.
It's good in command. Having never played it.
Did you get your gold card? Let's move off of this.
No, but oddly enough, I got your old one.
Oh, cool.
Even Mind Sensor.
Hey, look at that.
him.
What a
Look
great
at him.
card.
Flash flying, although it's not foil. Flash flying. If an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 of the library instead. It's cool. This is great in pretty much everywhere it's legal.
Yeah, it hoses fetch lands, things like that. Any tutor effects.
Goes in hate bears.
Goes in hate bears. Generally more as
listen
a
to that episode?
sideboard, I believe.
Yeah, because you've already got Leonin Arbiter, so
Yeah. But it is pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
fine.
like it. So
yeah, it's neat.
all right.
I'm proud of
Well,
'em.
with you picking my old goal card, wow. We will continue our search in the next episode, which will be tomorrow. We've got some standard and limited talk coming at you guys. Again, do we?
I just asked. Yeah, we're still writing that episode.
Yeah, we're still in the midst of that one, so we'll see how that one goes. But again, as we said in the top of the episode, check out the stream with Parks over on Twitch. We encourage you guys to do that.
Yes.
We'll get a schedule up as soon as possible. We also encourage you to check out our Patreon. And if you feel so inclined, we would absolutely love any support that you can give there. Again, don't feel pressured, but we do appreciate it. And I think that's it for this episode. With that, my name is Kevin.
My name is Will.
And this has been It Resolves.
Go make some good commander decks. Decks.